The Nintendo Switch is packed with amazing RPGs, from grand adventures to smaller titles full of heart. Some are modern hits, others quietly became must-play experiences that many players overlooked. So today, let's take a look at the RPGs on Nintendo Switch that you should definitely play. Bravely Default 2 is the kind of RPG that captures everything fans love about classic adventures. Deep strategy, rich storytelling, and a world that feels alive. Developed by Claytek Works and published by Square Enix, the game takes the spirit of old-school Final Fantasy and gives it a modern shape, balancing tradition and innovation in a way that few modern JRPGs manage to do. Set in the world of Excellent, the story follows four main characters: Seth, a sailor caught in a storm and rescued by destiny; Gloria, a princess who lost her kingdom and seeks to recover the stolen crystals; Elvis, a scholar with a mysterious book; and Adele, his loyal and sarcastic bodyguard. Each of them has a clear goal, and their journeys slowly intertwine into something much larger, a tale about faith, greed, and the courage to rebuild what's been lost. What really makes Bravely Default 2 shine is its combat system. The Brave and Default mechanics allow players to take extra turns by borrowing from future actions, or play defensively to prepare for stronger counterattacks. It's a battle of timing and risk, where a single mistake can turn the tide. Combine that with the versatile job system, giving access to dozens of classes and hybrid combinations, and you have an endless playground of strategies. Visually, the game is stunning. Its watercolor backgrounds and stylized characters give it the feel of a storybook coming to life. The soundtrack, composed by Revo, perfectly complements every moment, from calm exploration themes to explosive boss fights. And beyond its presentation, what stands out most is how cohesive everything feels. The pacing, the characters, and the combat flow naturally together. Bravely Default 2 isn't just a return to turn-based RPGs, it's a masterclass in how to keep a genre timeless. It rewards patience, creativity, and curiosity, everything that defines a true adventure. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is a rare kind of RPG, one that takes a massive action franchise known for its epic hunts and transforms it into a heartfelt adventure about friendship, destiny, and discovery. Developed by Capcom, it reimagines the Monster Hunter universe with turn-based combat, emotional storytelling, and a tone that feels closer to a Studio Ghibli film than a traditional monster-slaying game. You play as the grandchild of the legendary Rider Red, a young hero born into a world where humans coexist with monsters through bonds instead of weapons. Instead of hunting creatures, you hatch them from eggs, raise them, and fight alongside them. Each monster, or monstie, has its own skills, personalities, and combat traits, making every team unique. It's a refreshing twist on a series usually focused on slaying beasts for loot. Here, it's about understanding them. The battle system is turn-based and intuitive, but surprisingly deep. It uses a rock-paper-scissors structure, power, speed, and technical attacks that encourages prediction and timing. You can perform double attacks with your monstie for extra damage, or charge up devastating kinship skills with stunning cinematic animations. The sense of progression comes not just from getting stronger, but from building real bonds with your monsters. Visually, Wings of Ruin is stunning. The cel-shaded art style, vibrant colors, and detailed environments make every area, from jungles and snowy peaks to volcanic caves, feel alive. The world design balances exploration and combat beautifully, while the soundtrack delivers emotional and heroic melodies that elevate every moment. The story takes its time to grow, slowly revealing a tale about fate, responsibility, and the fine line between power and destruction. It's a game filled with warmth, charm, and depth, one that invites you to care about the creatures you once hunted. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is not just an expansion of a beloved universe. It's proof that even giants like Capcom can craft something tender, strategic, and unforgettable within a world built on monsters and legends. Dragon Quest Treasures is a charming adventure that blends exploration, monster collecting, and pure nostalgia into one of the most delightful spin-offs in the Dragon Quest universe. Developed by Square Enix and Toes, it takes the classic art style of Akira Toriyama and transforms it into a treasure-hunting fantasy that's easy to love from the very first minutes. The story follows Eric and Mia, the sibling duo from Dragon Quest XI, long before the events of that game. Restless and curious, they live aboard a Viking ship, dreaming of escaping their routine and seeking freedom. That wish comes true when they discover two magical creatures, Persula and Porcus, who guide them to the mysterious floating islands of Draconia. What awaits there isn't just gold or jewels, but an entirely new world overflowing with secrets, monsters, and forgotten history. Unlike the mainline Dragon Quest titles, Treasures focuses entirely on exploration and discovery. The goal isn't to save the world, it's to dig into it. You'll build a base, expand your crew, and send your team of monsters to scout for hidden treasures buried beneath ancient ruins or hidden inside mountain caves. Each creature has unique abilities that help with traversal. Some can glide, dig, or climb, turning exploration into a puzzle of movement and curiosity. Combat happens in real time, but it's light and accessible. Eric fights alongside his recruited monsters, combining slingshot attacks and teamwork mechanics to overcome enemies. It's not about raw difficulty, but rhythm, finding creative ways to use your team and terrain to gain advantage. Visually, Draconia is beautiful. The islands are full of color, strange architecture, and that signature Dragon Quest charm that makes every vista feel like an illustration come to life. The sense of adventure is constant, driven by the upbeat soundtrack and the excitement of each treasure discovered. Dragon Quest. Treasures captures what makes exploration feel magical. That mix of curiosity and comfort that defines classic RPGs. It's a story about siblings chasing their dreams, about wonder and discovery, and about finding something precious even when you least expect it. Jack Move is one of those RPGs that perfectly capture the spirit of the cyberpunk era. All neon lights, corporate corruption, and the feeling that technology has gone too far. Developed by the indie studio So Romantic, this pixel art RPG blends slick visuals, turn-based combat, and a strong emotional story into a compact experience that feels both classic and modern. You play as Noah, a talented hacker living in a city ruled by megacorporations and digital surveillance. She's bold, sarcastic, and dangerously smart. The kind of protagonist who knows she's fighting a system much bigger than herself. When her father, a brilliant scientist who vanished years ago, suddenly reaches out from the shadows, Noah is thrown into a web of secrets, betrayals, and hidden experiments that could change the entire digital world. At its core, Jack Move plays like a traditional JRPG, but everything has a futuristic twist. The entire battle system takes place inside cyberspace, where Noah hacks enemies using digital attacks instead of swords or spells. The Jack Move system lets you load different software mid-battle, giving you tactical freedom to adapt on the fly, switching between offensive, defensive, and utility programs depending on your opponent. Battles are fast, intense, and always feel rewarding, thanks to punchy animations and a slick interface that looks ripped straight from a 90s hacking movie. Visually, Jack Move is stunning. The pixel art is detailed and dynamic, with gorgeous lighting effects that make every alley, computer terminal, and rain-soaked street pop with energy. The city of Monocity 1 feels alive, with a soundtrack full of retro synths that pulse in rhythm with the action. It's short, around 6 to 8 hours long, but every moment counts. What truly sets Jack Move apart is how personal it feels. Beneath the flashy battles and cyber aesthetics lies a story about loss, family, and finding your purpose in a world where everything is artificial. It's smart, stylish, and full of heart. Proof that even in a digital world drowning in noise, emotion can still break through the code. Undernauts Labyrinth of Yomi is the kind of RPG that proves dungeon crawlers can still surprise you. Developed by Experience Inc., a studio known for its dark and methodical RPGs, this game takes everything fans love about old-school exploration and twists it into a gritty, supernatural survival story set in 1979 Tokyo, a time when the world was teetering between rapid modernization and something much darker. It all begins when a mysterious structure suddenly appears in the heart of the city, a massive, labyrinthine tower known only as Yomi. It's a gateway to another realm, filled with impossible corridors, monsters beyond reason, and riches powerful enough to change lives. To control the chaos, corporations send groups of hired explorers, called Undernauts, to descend into its depths. You're one of them, a worker forced into danger for profit, trapped between corporate greed and the horrors waiting below. The gameplay follows the classic first-person dungeon crawling formula, but with a sharp modern edge. Every step through Yomi is tense, mapping your path, managing resources, and preparing for encounters that can end your run in seconds. You assemble a party from several unique classes, from brutal enforcers to cunning necromancers, each with distinct abilities that can turn the tide of battle. The combat is turn-based, but punishing, demanding smart decisions and careful preparation before every descent. Undernauts stands out not only for its tension, but for its atmosphere. The visual design mixes hand-drawn monsters, surreal architecture, and grim industrial tones that make the labyrinth feel alive and hostile. The eerie soundtrack amplifies every step, blending ambient echoes with unsettling melodies that crawl under your skin. What ties everything together is its story. a grim look at exploitation, survival, and what people are willing to sacrifice in pursuit of power. It's as much a psychological journey as it is a physical one, pushing players to question what's real and what's left of humanity when profit rules over life. Labyrinth of Yomi isn't just another dungeon crawler. It's a descent into greed, fear, and the fragile courage that keeps the human spirit alive in the darkest places. Rune Factory 5 is what happens when everyday life meets epic adventure. A world where farming, friendship, and monster slaying somehow blend into one cozy yet exciting experience. Developed by Hakama and published by Marvelous, it continues the beloved spin-off of Harvest Moon, combining the charm of a life simulator with the mechanics of a full-fledged action RPG. The story begins as your character awakens with amnesia, a classic Rune Factory tradition, in the peaceful town of Rigbarth, a place surrounded by forests, lakes, and ancient ruins. You're soon invited to join the local group of guardians who protect the town from monsters and keep daily life running smoothly. From there, you start rebuilding your memories, forming friendships, and shaping your new home through small acts that grow into a life of adventure. The combat system feels surprisingly dynamic for such a relaxing game. You can equip a wide variety of weapons, swords, spears, dual blades, or staves, each with its own flow and timing. Battles unfold in real time, letting you dodge, cast spells, and chain combos with satisfying precision. You can also capture monsters to help you fight or assist with farm work, adding a layer of strategy and charm to your daily routine. Outside of combat, Rune Factory 5 shines as a social RPG. You can befriend every villager, build relationships, and eventually choose someone to marry, regardless of gender, a welcome step forward for inclusivity in the series. Each NPC has unique routines, personalities, and stories that make Rigbarth feel like a living, breathing place. As the seasons change, festivals bring the town together, and life unfolds at your own pace. Visually, the game radiates warmth. Its colorful environments, gentle animations, and relaxing soundtrack create a sense of peace that makes even the simplest tasks feel rewarding. It may not be a technical marvel, but it captures something rarer, the joy of belonging. Rune Factory 5 is both an adventure and a home, a place where you can fight dragons in the morning and plant turnips before sunset. Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song Remastered is one of those RPGs that remind you how bold Square Enix once was with experimentation. Originally released on the PlayStation 2, this remaster revives one of the most unique and ambitious entries in the SaGa franchise, a series known for doing things differently, even when different meant breaking every RPG rule you thought you knew. Instead of a linear story, Romancing SaGa gives you freedom. You choose one of 8 protagonists, each with their own background, motivations, and destiny. From the noble swordsman Albert to the traveling dancer Barbara, or the pirate Captain Gray, every character begins their adventure in a different part of the world. And while their stories eventually connect, how you get there is entirely up to you. There's no single right path. Every choice, quest, and even battle outcome can shift the course of your journey. The combat system is turn-based, but packed with depth. It revolves around a mechanic called glimmering, where characters randomly discover new abilities mid-battle. A spark of inspiration that completely changes your strategy. It's unpredictable, rewarding, and incredibly satisfying when it happens at just the right moment. Each fight feels like a puzzle, with positioning, timing, and party synergy playing major roles. Visually, the remaster brings new life to its watercolor-like art direction. The characters look like painted figures moving across detailed environments that feel almost storybook-like, vibrant, charming, and timeless. The reorchestrated soundtrack by Kenji Ito adds even more magic, from sweeping battle themes to haunting town melodies that linger long after you stop playing. But what truly defines Minstrel Song is its spirit of discovery. There's a joy in exploring its non-linear world, meeting eccentric NPCs, and realizing how your decisions ripple through the story. It's not a game that holds your hand. It trusts you to find your own adventure. Romancing SaGa is both a trip back in time and a celebration of creative freedom, an RPG that dares you to wander, experiment, and embrace the unexpected. Dusk Diver is a vibrant blend of action, fantasy, and urban chaos that feels like stepping into an anime set in the real world. Developed by the Taiwanese studio JFI Games, it mixes fast-paced beat-em-up combat with light RPG elements, all wrapped in the colorful energy of Taipei's Ximending district. recreated here in stunning detail and filled with supernatural twists. You play as Yumo, an ordinary high school girl whose life changes after she accidentally slips through a dimensional rift. On the other side lies Yushanding, a parallel realm where gods and monsters clash for control of human emotions. Guided by powerful guardians, Yumo must fight to protect the balance between worlds, discovering hidden strength within herself along the way. The combat is where Dusk Diver shines brightest. It's fast, flashy, and fun, a mix of melee combos, air juggling, and elemental abilities that make every fight feel explosive. You can summon your guardian allies mid-battle, switching between them for devastating combo attacks that fill the screen with colorful effects. It's not the deepest combat system ever made, but it's stylish, responsive, and satisfying from start to finish. Between missions, you explore a semi-open version of Taipei, filled with cafes, convenience stores, and hidden collectibles that tie back to the story. These calm moments between battles give the game personality. You'll buy bubble tea to restore energy, talk to quirky NPCs, and unlock side quests that reveal more about the city and its mysterious connection to Yushanding. Visually, Dusk Diver bursts with personality. The seal-shaded art, bright neon lights, and anime-inspired designs make every frame pop. The soundtrack moves between energetic J-pop and powerful battle themes, creating a rhythm that fits perfectly with the tone of the game. Dusk Diver captures the pulse of a city that never sleeps, mixing real-world culture with supernatural flair. It's stylish, fun, and full of energy, a game that turns modern Taipei into an unforgettable battleground of light, music, and motion. The Nintendo Switch keeps proving that it's one of the best places for RPG fans, whether you love classic turn-based systems or action-packed adventures. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into amazing games. See you in the next one.